So, Julia, you're still running with the narrative that you're the victim. Very typical of an ain't shit ass bitch like yourself. And the new lady, Stephanie, girl, you just got here. Calm down.
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. It's shaking, stop. I'm Asia Esterak. All right, the Real Housewives of Miami, child, season 7, episode 4. All right, let's get to it. So we open with the gutter snipe, Julia, talking about everything that happened at the party with Martina, her proprietor and provider. So in this scene, she's basically saying that Guerdy hurt her by saying what she said. So Guerdy hurt you with your actual truth? Because she goes on to explain the chemo facelift thing. So apparently she was in Paris with her daughter or wherever. She wasn't with her wife, who she should have been with. But what's crazy about this scene, though, is that Martina plays along with the bullshit. I'm like, Martina, I guess you get a hot lady out of it. Is that what this is? I don't know. And I don't like it. But Martina's like, well, I knew that you, if you wanted to be there. No, she was like, I know if I needed you, you would be a phone call away. She would have had to hop on a plane to go to get to you. She should have been with you getting chemo. And for her to use that to weaponize that against Guerdy because Guerdy sprayed you with your truth is fucking crazy. You're insane. You are low vibrational trash. Ooh, I can't stand you. The fact that she doubled down on her bullshit is crazy. And then, so in this same scene, she reveals that Adriana is throwing her a baby shower for the 2 little boys she's adopting, who are both black, by the way. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So she's talking about inviting people to the baby shower, and she's telling Martina, I still want to invite her. I want to extend the invitation. Why? You talked all that shit about Guerdy. You were horrible to her last week, and now you want to invite her to her baby shower? You are so fake and phony and ridiculous. Girl, bye. I love that I didn't read one comment last week on my post or anybody else's defending your goofy ass, because that shit was so out of order. And here's the reality. Let's say you hate Guerdy. Let's say you as a viewer don't like Guerdy. She didn't deserve any of that shit last week. She did nothing to deserve that energy. And when she returned the energy that she got, then all of a sudden she was gaslit like it was a bad thing. It was also particularly disappointing to see that none of the ladies stood up for Guerdy. I found out last week that Adriana had a lot to say about Julia. She was going off on Twitter defending Guerdy. So shout out to Adriana. I feel like she's the only one that Adriana would have got her ass together. We know that she doesn't mince words. It's still shaking. Sorry. It's a new stand. I clearly need to get a new one. But anyway, this scene irritated me because it was just very it was like she was trying to save face. She was trying to justify what she did last week. And there was no justifying it. And then, I ruined their wedding and I want to make it up to Marisol. And girl, shut up. Anyway, so we get to Guerdy's house. Guerdy's, reacting to what happened. She's also, so her son Liam, her kids are so cute. So Liam's birthday, and he loves Halloween. Liam, I like Halloween too. It's my favorite holiday. But she decorated the house for Halloween for his birthday. That was awesome. So her and Russell are talking about what happened. Yo, big ups to Russell. Okay? Big ups to Russell. Russell was like, this big person, I fell out, big lady standing over you. He was right. And Guerdy, she's upset. But it's crazy how no one cares about how Guerdy feels. They're all worried about Julia's fake, phony, guttural, fucking ratchet ass. Anyway. We don't see a lot of Guerdy this episode because she's actually doing work. Unlike yourself, Julia. Anyway, so after that, we meet the new lady. She's a friend of Larsa's. Her name is Stephanie. I do not like her at all. Let me tell you right now, this will be her first and last season. If she continues in this trajectory, this will be her last season. She's some rich chick, Miami. Her husband is, I think, 20-something years, almost 20 years older than her. She said she met him at 26 and he was like 50-something. I don't know what she does. All she did was talk about labels. She reminded me a lot of, what's her name? Dana Wakili from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That 25,000. That's what she reminds me of. Everything was about Valentino. My Versace, I spilled. Like, whatever. She was annoying. Her and Larsa together, extremely obnoxious. In fact, her whole introduction, she was taking a private jet to go pick up a dog from a breeder at a girl bye, whatever. I hope she brings more than labels and money and shit, because I don't have time for that. She gives entitled. And I live in America, where capitalism runs big and they only care about the almighty dollar and the billionaires here. So seeing a bitch like that on the TV worrying about labels and shit, especially after China revealed earlier this year that you basically are paying for a name, that all the shit is made in the same factories. We've been knew that. Anyway, the last thing we need is another fucking no-dimensional ass bitch on one of these shows. But whatever. We'll see how she does. But for right now, the jury's still out. But my thing is, you were doing too much for me. I didn't like her, but whatever. So after that, we briefly go with Kiki. Kiki picks up her dad from the airport. Kiki's dad is handsome. I understand why he has a 3-year-old at his old ripe age. I was like, okay, Kiki's dad, okay. I'm sorry, I love a chocolate man. I love him. I just like chocolate so much. It's so good. Yes. Anyway, that was a cute little scene. I'm still like, whatever with you, Kiki. I can't unsee what you gave to us last week. I can't unhear what you said last week. So her daughter's cute. Dad's fine. I'm glad they have a relationship. Next. So anyway, we're at Lisa's house, and Marisol and Alexia get there, and they're all talking about everything that went on with Guerdy and Julia. Lisa talks about her dad. She says something very powerful in her confessional. She says that she talks about the importance of not holding grudges, and she wished she hadn't done that because her dad has passed, and she didn't get to have a fully fulfilled relationship with him as an adult. So I could see that. I felt like maybe she was talking to me a little bit. I'm not necessarily a grudge holder, but it's hard for me to forget shit. The forgiveness thing is something that I have to work on. That's between me and my creator. But I understood where she was coming from. Probably the most positive thing she said on the whole episode. So Lisa knows what Larsa said about her at Marisol's wedding celebration, all the stuff she said about Jody. So she's definitely feeling some type of way, and she's not revealing who told her. We later find out who told her. It was Guerdy. And I love how Guerdy was like, yeah, I'm the one that told her. Solved. That would have been a 3-episode arc on these types of shows. Guerdy was like, yeah, it was me. Anyway, so Adriana's planning this baby shower. We get to this baby shower for Julia. All of the ladies show up, except for Guerdy. Guerdy is in New York, working, because she has jobs. In Phaedra's voice, jobs. So everyone gets there. Lisa comes last. Lisa says hi to everybody but Larsa. Larsa's feeling some type of way. Here's what's funny. Larsa and Lisa, you guys are the same. You're the same person. Y'all are doing to each other what you would do to anybody else. So it's no different. And it's funny, in the confessional, Lisa's like, well, Larsa acts, says all this stuff about me and acts like I'm not her friend. So she's like, I don't see her. Do you see her? If she's just not talking to me, I'm not talking to her, that whole thing. Before I finish this scene, though, I want to jump back real quick. So there was a smaller scene before we get to this party where Alexia was supposed to meet up with Marisol, and I cannot remember who else. She ends up not showing up. They think that she's with Todd. So at the top of the episode, we find out, Alexia, girl, you better than me. We find out that the judge gave Todd an addition, or Todd asked for an extension on his decision about getting divorced. So the judge granted Todd an additional 3 months before him to decide if they're going to get divorced or not. Alexia, you crazy. What are you waiting on? What are we doing? I hope you guys are at least going to counseling and trying to figure it out. But this is very bizarre. Marisol's not with it. And I think that's going to be a point of contention between her and Alexia later. I could see that. You could tell in their friendship, they have issues when it comes to the men that they date. That's the vibe that I got. I even got it on the Ultimate Girls trip when they were in Thailand, because they bickered a lot on that trip too. Check that shit out. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there. So that's another thing that's going on. But anyway, back to this baby shower. So Larsa notices that Lisa isn't speaking to her, and she's like, okay. You could tell she was kind of like, But my thing is, Lisa knows that you were running your mouth about Jody to everybody. So, and Lisa didn't appreciate the fact that Larsa was telling everybody that Jody controls her. She's like, I'm not controlled. How am I controlled? So it is what it is. At this point, you two ladies need to sit down with each other and quit having conversations with the fucking peanut gallery. Sit down and actually have a conversation with each other and figure this shit out. Like, come on. So Lisa, so they're sitting at the table, and they're all talking. They're playing, first of all, so they're playing baby shower games. Julia and Martina finally arrive. Julia in her ugly ass yellow fucking outfit with yellow scarf. Girl, who's dressing you? And I like the color yellow, but it looked heavy, and I'm sorry. When somebody's gutter and ratchet the way that she is, it's hard for me to like anything on them. For her to double down on her delusion and still claiming to be victim is fucking disgusting. Like, you're trash. Fucking trash. You owe her a fucking apology. Period. So they have these baby shower games. One of the games is they open up a dirty diaper and they have to taste the shit and tell them what it's nasty. So obviously it's not real poop in the diaper. It's like food that looks like poop. Lisa almost throws up at one point. Lisa's also been sipping on the sipping. She's getting tipsier and tipsier as the games progress, as the day progresses, as the baby shower moves along. She actually goes in the bathroom and like is dry heaving. That was kind of gross. I think Kiki won that game because she was able to guess what was in the dirty diaper. It was just gross. This scene, also in this scene, the new chick, Stephanie, who looked like a fucking extra from fucking That Thing You Do, this fucking 60 outfit. I guess she was eating out of one of the diapers and spilled some of the food on her clothes. I spilled on my Versace. Oh, I cannot stand people like that. She gonna annoy me. 25,000. Girl, you are Dana Wakili, girl. Wakili, have you said her name? You are her. You are the Cuban version of her. The Miami version of her. Anyway, very obnoxious. Very fucking obnoxious. You could tell she ain't never had shit. You over here doing all that, you've never had anything in your life. Whatever. So they start talking about who told Lisa what Larsa said, right? That comes to be that they're kind of chatting about that. Lisa's not at the table. She's in the bathroom dry heaving. And they're going back and forth about that. Lisa comes out, overhears them, and gets really upset because she's like, I was with my dead dad. So at one point, she reveals that she sent a text message of her deceased father to Larsa, like in the casket. Lisa, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Why would you do that? Why would you let another adult make you feel like you needed to do that? Bitch, you got too much power over me. I got to do all that. I don't give a fuck. Either you believe me or you don't. It's crazy. So she, of course, is really upset. And she's tipsy. And because she even asked, because at one point, she's talking to Stephanie and she's like, everybody wants us, I wanted to meet, like, who's this new girl? And she's like, I want to be friends with you. I want to be friends with people with yachts and private planes. Just telling on herself, doing too much. But anyway, that was before she actually got up and went to the bathroom to dry heave. I'm kind of all over the place, but this scene was all over the place. But anyway, Lisa's tipsy. She's crying. We all find out that it was Guerdy that told her about what Larsa was saying about Jody. So she's doing what a typical tipsy drunk person does. They harp on one thing and repeat it over and over again. I watch enough body cam videos to know that. But she's like, she ends up getting, I can't remember who walks Lisa out or away from the table, but that's kind of, I think it's Julia actually. It's either Julia or Kiki, one of them. But it ends with her crying about Larsa. Next week is going to be really interesting because Lisa and the new lady Stephanie are going to clash. This episode was okay. We haven't dealt with the Guerdy shit though, the Guerdy and Julia shit, because Guerdy was basically gone this whole episode. She was in like a few scenes, actually 2. But that needs to be addressed. I will say this though, this season is great. So far, we're only 4 episodes in and a lot has happened. But they need to address this shit with Julia and Guerdy. Because imagine if the situation had been flipped. This whole episode would have been about how Guerdy attacked Julia. The fact that it's brushed under the rug is upsetting. And this seems to be a common theme when it comes to housewife shows when it's mixed cast. Whenever it's somebody that's melanated, they get the short end of the stick every time. And if you're triggered by that, then you're a part of the problem, because that's the fucking truth. And the reality is, the one show where everybody was melanated except for one person, the first couple seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta with Kim Zolciak, the irony of that shit is she was the only white lady on the show, and she was the only one that was racist that had racist shit to say to her about the others. So it's funny that now here we are again. It's the same type of shit. This lady attacked Guerdy verbally, well, physically, if you count throwing a drink, that's assault, technically. And no one did shit. But if Guerdy had done it, it would have been a whole fucking production. Julia, you're fake. You're fake and you're a phony and you're a fraud. You're ratchet, you're low vibrational, and you are a fucking gutter snipe and you're trash. All of the above. Anyway, interesting episode. 4th of July is tomorrow here in America. Happy Independence Day. Stay hydrated. Free Palestine.